That's right. Greetings, fellow crystal gems. Tiki here.
BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to another thrilling installment of Tiki's Universe. It's the show that has gotten hit in the NAS by some unfortunate scheduling issues. And unfortunately, folks, exciting season of Star Wars Sports of Evil. Jacob and I haven't had the time to cover it, and a lot of the new episodes came out on my trip to Disney World, which is just, it's just unfortunate, but it happens. Jacob and I might do a review of the season as a whole. We might cover the episodes in chunks. Who knows? We need to correspond on that. But we're not here to talk about Star. We're here to talk about Steven.
Yeah.
All right, so Dragon, I feel like obviously the hype machine has died down for this show. Just generally speaking,
That's unfortunate.
I feel like a lot of the time spent talking about this show is either like on the toxic fan base or just how it's not as good as it used to be. I gotta say, this episode, while it's not Mr. Greg, trademark, it's not Mr. Greg. This episode definitely did a lot in terms of building up the Rose Quartz mythology, and even one could say this is an origin episode for the crystal gems in general, which I thought did a lot for the show. Going into the final stages of it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I think what's hurting Steven Universe the most right now are these breaks in between the Steven bombs. I think that's what's killing the show. As you said, it's kind of killing the hype machine, and I think that's what's, kind of, not, I don't want to say souring people on the show, but I think just kind of it's kind of like drifting from them. I don't know. It's just kind of like I don't know. Basically, have to your heart has to really be in it to kind of rejoin Steven Universe. I don't know, but it being having said that, having it back and having it not be that one really meh Steven bomb we had a while back, because the last two episodes were, they were solid. One was a little better than the other one, but we're getting back on track. Is the point will be the last two episodes they showed. Now we're just kind of back sporadically again. Just kind of dropped it like out of nowhere. It's like a dirty bomb. Just kind of dropped it out of nowhere. And I mean that in a good way though. It's a dirty bomb that is just kind of full of wondrous radiation, if you will. And yeah, this episode artistically is really cool. Has delicious background, let's say. The flashback sequence is amazing, and yes, we do have a nice origin. We do building some pathos, and I think Estelle really brings it this episode. Estelle is Garnet. She's fantastic in this episode.
I've heard complaints about Estelle being one note in her performance, and I'm just like,
it's kind of the point, though, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, A, that is kind of the point, but B, I feel like there's a lot more to it than that. I feel like there's a lot of nuisance to her performance, and episodes like this really show that off.
Yeah, you're right, too. There's a lot of nuance in there, and yeah, you're absolutely right. But again, she has that kind of that deadpan delivery. But what makes that deadpan delivery so fantastic is when she has that underlying emotion coming through it all. When she gets to kind of like, it's like the old use a Watchmen comparison here. It's like the old. Ozymandias could see, that John Osterman, Dr. Manhattan was like weeping on the inside, just like a little micro tell. It's like there's little movements that convey so much. There's little idiosyncrasies that communicate so much with Garnet. When she like kind of steps out, like when she emotes just a little bit, it's like, oh my god, there's so much to read in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the episode starts with like a fake out with the twin Steven, and I gotta say, I was like, did I miss something?
I know, me too.
Did you? Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone. I was like, am I not remembering the last episode right?
Exactly. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. What's happening here? Like I had to stop the episode and had to check Wikipedia and say, okay, wait, am I missing an episode? There's Jungle Moon.
Okay, Dragon, I'm very glad that I'm not alone on this then. That makes me feel a lot better.
Real quick, though, at the top of it, before we got that, guys, real quick, we have like kind of Lars as the awesome space pirate now, and I do love a little Star Trek gag we had at the top where, he's doing a captain's log, and then one of his crew asks, like, hey, wait, do we have to write this down? He says, nah, it's fine. kind of funny. So I like the idea and status quo that we're establishing here with kind of the Lars stuff and what Steven's doing on the side. The idea to me seems that Steven's checking in on the trip home and kind of getting like a progress update and kind of like doing some food drops, presumably, because he delivers like a sub and all sorts of stuff. So it's basically Steven checking in. So it's a good plot reason to kind of have Steven in the Lars story and see like how the return trip's going, and of course all the various speed bumps along the journey. And yes, so Steven he comes not with a clone but with Garnet. Yeah, and Garnet, I got that. This is what I'm talking about, the Estelle performance. One, we have like a great dramatic Estelle performance later on. We have a really great kind of fun Estelle performance with Garnet here, where she's just having a great time, and she's so overcome because you gotta remember she's in a room full of very, very rare and unusual fusions. These off colors are very like rare and intimate fusions. So she's like, oh my god, look at you guys! You guys must have such stories to tell. One of my favorite bits out of all the of her meeting the crew is when she says, "Oh, a ruby and a pearl. Oh, there's a story I got to hear sometime."
Just another example of the show kind of dipping into that humor and that subject matter very tastefully.
Yeah, and again, it's Garnet being fascinated by the stories of like other fusion love stories, if you will, and it's just being amazed by. Man, of course, when she gets to, I'm sorry, the Lars's crew has kind of escaped me at the moment, folks. Nothing against the show, but
Dragon, here's the issue. I feel like this late in the game, introducing this many characters, I feel like they're all likable. They have memorable designs. It's just the names are long, and I feel like we just kind of have to describe them rather than name them.
Exactly, because you got to remember, folks, with each fusion, these guys aren't your ordinary fusion. It's not just like a Garnet, like it's just a singular stone. But the problem is that there are multiple fusions and multiple gems combined in their namesake, so they're like longer names. So the point is the big Jim Henson looking one, the big Henson kind of Muppet looking one, the giant blue one. Again, I don't know. I mean, disrespect. I don't. The giant Jim Henson looking one. I love the Garnet. So you're just beautiful because again, seeing the most intricate fusion out of all of them, there, it's like, oh my god, it's so wonderful. And again, they it's kind of a dark moment where like they think Garnet's insulting her. They realize, oh my god, no, you guys haven't heard a compliment before, have you? And basically, the crux of the episode is now with Garnet there. Garnet explains to these to the off colors, the guys who were like on Homeworld the whole time, the guys who were really in the dark about kind of what Steven's been kind of discovering slowly but surely through the season. Now Garnet's going to lay out basically she's going to kind of connect any final residual dots that we kind of had on the whole shattering of Pink Diamond story. And that's kind of what this episode's about, where she sets the record straight and she basically gives us like a well-told flashback story about, okay, here's how it went down. Here's the story of Rose Quartz.
Yeah, and I love that as a structure for an episode, Dragon. I feel like we're getting closer and closer to that dreaded and coveted flashback of the last days of Rose Quartz and the birth of Steven and all that.
Oh yeah.
And as you said, this is a great episode to kind of just fill in a lot of the gaps that didn't necessarily need to be filled in, but it's nice that we have kind of like this episode really paints a picture. Like it really sets the stage, I feel, for what's coming next.
And you got to remember, Tiki, it's the halfway point for season 5. It's going for 26 episodes. This is episode 13. This is like the big midway point. So they got to really kind of get this thing kind of settled and kind of get their ducks in a row for the big finale.
And I've been on the record as saying that I believe that the show is going to end at the end of season 5. So
if it ends, they're probably going to end it with, or penultimately, with the whole birth of Steven arc.
Oh God! Right.
That big flashback. So the gist of it, this whole flashback is very well done. The use of color is cool. I like how we could basically identify gems by their hair and by their gem color alone.
Like it's not quite silhouette, but it's close to silhouette. It's done in a really unique style.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure how to just describe it. I mean, I guess folks can look at the picture right there, the root image we're using. That's the bulk of the style right there. But I just love how I love how it moves. I love how we see the progression of Rose from a quartz like any other quartz to getting bigger and grander as the flashback goes on.
Oh yeah. And let's see. Oh yes, and we have one of the images. One of my favorite of the images. I love seeing the diamonds. I love seeing the diamond formation. And my favorite thing is that we're really showcasing white diamond. White diamond's always been kind of the outlier of all the diamonds. We've always white diamond's been there. But we never talk about her.
Uh-huh.
And with that, it gets me super excited that now this is the first time we kind of see white diamond in motion, essentially, and that gets me. It gets me really hyped. You'll notice out of that alignment of the diamonds. I know we've seen this before, but now we're kind of seeing it in effect, so it kind of means a little bit more, and we're seeing it kind of told in the story, so it's really cool. White diamonds at the top of the diamond formation, implying that white diamond's the head honcho of all the diamonds. Like white diamond's at the top, pink diamond's the youngest, the most inexperienced, she's at the bottom. You had yellow and blue kind of as the equal subordinates on the sides there, so it suggests that white diamond's the top of the pyramid. Yeah. So so basically the story goes as we'd expect. Pink Diamond, she was colonizing the Earth, and what's cool, now Tiki, it's really cool. It's been a while, so I don't know how fresh you are on this. After this episode, I went back just to double check it. Jungle Moon, of course, gave us some Pink Diamond stuff. It gave us kind of our first glimpse at Pink Diamond, kind of live and in color, if you will.
Right, sure.
And we kind of inferred that we have the whole mother-daughter kind of inference. Again, it's harder to tell because it was a dream sequence at the same time. The point is, Yellow Diamond and Pink Diamond had a special bond, and Pink Diamond was kind of a bratty either sister or daughter figure who wanted a planet to colonize. So we kind of fill in the blanks here. We see, okay, so we know why Pink Diamond got to colonize. She just kind of making a big scene, and she demanded to colonize a planet. So that's how she got Earth. So now we're seeing, okay, so she colonized Earth. She had all these various quartzes kind of doing her bidding, like everyone basically kind of quartz soldiers. We know they're quartz soldiers, but and I love seeing how Rose is set apart from these soldiers. I just love the story that we have told here that she was distracted one day while she was kind of going through the motions, and in that distraction she noticed her surroundings, and that led to curiosity, which led to an appreciation for the surroundings, which led to a fondness, which led to love. With her first
no, Dragon, that the first love interest she has isn't Pearl. I assume it's a human woman.
To be fair, you're right. I mean, here's the thing, they have long hair, and this was thousands of years. They call it Era 1. I don't know what that means. I forget how many. Tiki's at 5,000 or like 2. I know it's thousands of years. Do you remember how many thousand off?
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe it's 10,000 years.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the point is, okay, whatever, how many thousand years is, it's like we'll call it Era 1 just for simplicity's sake. The point is, thousands of years ago, I mean, I could imagine men could have longer hair back then, kind of like the cavemen, if possibly. So I don't know. It could be man or woman. It's kind of hard to tell with the silhouette look we're going for here, but either or. But yes, so Rose fell in love, and again that tracks with what she told Greg, because Greg asked her, "Have you ever been in love before?" She said yes. Boom.
It does.
So basically what we see unfold here is we answer how the shattering went down and how the crystal gems were formed. And I love this. This is really cool. Again, I love how we're filling the blanks with this. I love we get an origin for the broken drill in the kindergarten.
Yeah, I like how we definitely tie in a lot of different things. It's a well done prequel story, Dragon.
We love our prequel stories.
What?
We love our prequel stories.
When they're done well, right?
Well, usually when they're serialized, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Marty, a lot of the shows we cover in great detail are prequel shows. Gotham, Better Call Saul, Bates Motel.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Bates Motel, yeah.
Our big three are all prequel shows.
I didn't even realize that, Dragon. Touche.
Okay, let's see. So yes, you're right. A lot of great things track, and I really love how we introduce our members. Basically, as the rebellion forms, we have these great little monolithic introductions to our crystal gems that we see before us here, the original lineup. And I love how each of them have a great prolific title attached to them. Of course, my favorite, and we get Flashback Pearl.
Flashback Pearl. Oh
yeah. So I love her title. A pearl who belonged to no one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good wording. Yeah.
It is. Now I'm gonna suggest something here. I'm gonna throw a bit of spec there because people theorize, Pearl belonged to White Diamond, and again, you could easily say that this disproves that. Now, I'm not shooting that down necessarily, but imagine this. Imagine we're going to get a story where we finally answer, what's the deal with White Diamond? What's all the mystery about? We have a story that reveals that White Diamond was so ticked off at Pearl, whether Pearl served her or not. Most likely, Pearl served her. Pearl did something just like very innocent that really peeved White Diamond. White Diamond basically stripped her title away and basically made it so like she would never be a Pearl to anyone else. So again, you belong to no one ever again.
I mean, it could be that, or it could be just Pearl being mistreated in general and wanting to revolt against that and saying, I will never belong to anyone again on her own merits.
Both compelling by all means. I'm just saying if anyone wants to make the White Diamond connection, it's there.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see how it goes. But yes, I mean, still, it's a powerful title all the same. Like the Pearl who belonged to no one. Oh my God, put that on a bumper sticker. I'm sold.
Uh-huh.
Of course,
Loving the return of Cotton Candy Garnet.
yeah, you're right. Oh yeah. I forgot we had a title. Yeah, Cotton Candy Garnet.
Yeah, Cotton Candy Garnet.
And Bismuth.
Uh-huh. Yeah, nice little cameo by Bismuth there.
Yeah, there's a story.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then there's an epic fight, epic battle. Rose made the big move. So here's the thing: we've been dancing around for a while now. We finally get to see it unfold. So Rose made again in an artistic sense, but take we can get. Rose made the big move, and I love how he explained this big move. I love how we get the complexity. We allude to the complexities of war, kind of like what we do in a really smart show like Avatar: Last Airbender. So I really appreciate this. That Rose wanted to protect the world that she fell in love with and realized this war is going to take down good gems as well as destroy the planet they're trying to kind of save and protect. So she makes the big executive move to shatter Pink Diamond to basically end the war before it just drags on for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we get the unhappy.
As you said, we already pretty much knew that, but to see it play out in action, to see it like in the context of the forming of the crystal gems, to see it in the context of Rose's origin, it all kind of links it together. You know what I mean? It all kind of makes it unanimously kind of fit in really well.
I love the unhappy ending of our story. I really do. And this song. It's a huge moment. I love like the scale of this moment where our unhappy inevitable ending is. You'd imagine, okay, hey, Rose won. In reality, what we know, that's not the case. So how is this? It seems like, hey, victory, we shattered Pink Diamond, but we know things kind of went south.
Nope,
so we see
the rest of the diamonds just revolt. Womp womp.
Essentially, the diamonds did this unibeam. Unibeam it's kind of like how Iron Man has like the arc reactor shoot like the big, the big unite. It's like a united beam. So basically, like kind of 3 energy pulses from the diamonds combined, and just 3 out of the 4 can do this. Tiki is amazing. The 3 combined kind of energy blasts from the diamonds. He creates this giant unibeam. And I love this image of Rose with her giant shield protecting protecting Garnet and Pearl. Presumably the Bismuth stuff kind of went off on the side, or she was somewhere else. I forget what the deal was with Bismuth. Like I know Rose
you notice that Garnet doesn't have her cotton candy form, so this implies that when the thing goes down, there's a little bit of a passage of time.
True. So again, stuff probably like Rose, probably had to take down Bismuth and store her away in line. Like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so again, there's that big prolific image of Rose kind of saving her friends, and presumably, what I inferred is that blast was so powerful it destroyed every shit. Not shat. Well, it's unclear. There's a chance it could have shattered them, but I'm just saying, given the premise of the show about how we have all these various gems and such. But then again, all of those gems presumably would be, at least for the most part, they'd all be quartzes because quartzes are the soldiers. So I don't know. Regardless, shattered or not, we eliminate all of the we eliminate all the other gems on the planet. That's a big blast.
So essentially, the Crystal Gem army goes from an army to just the crystal gems that we know on the show, which honestly, Dragon kind of puts the whole rallying crawl of the opening titles into a sort of darker perspective, like the "We Are the Crystal Gems" thing.
Yeah. Adds another layer there. It's great dimension there.
Indeed, indeed.
And I
And
guess we're.
speaking of Dragon, since we forgot to do it and we kind of touched on some nice layering and dimension,
Oh! God,
do you want
yes,
to
you're.
do you want to do the song with the layer and dimension in mind? Kind of ponder that.
Yes.
All right, all right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we
Are the crystal.
gems.
We always save the day.
And if you think we can't, we'll.
Always find a way.
That's why the people
Of this world.
believe in
Garnet.
amethyst.
And Pearl. And Steven.
All right, so seriously, it does kind of give it a darker context when you think of like all the crystal gems being boiled down to nothing. But to round out the episode, Dragon, I do like how even though these characters are not characters we spent a lot of time with, we get the sense that what season 5 is going to be about going forward is kind of building a new crystal gem army with Lars and his crew kind of at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of which,
yeah.
Speaking of where we kind of check in at the present here, so after our great kind of story that inspires the troops for the most part until the ending bums them out. I like how it kind of seems like Garnet's going to lead this new rebellion, Tiki. That's kind of the impression I got from this. We'll see if that sticks. They could just hand it over to Steven, but I think Garnet's really going to lead this rebellion.
Which is exciting because she's been kind of sitting on the sidelines for a while, for most of season 5.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool army, even if it's like a section of an army. Like if Steven, like in the end, kind of leads things. He kind of divvies out like teams for like a big like end plot, like a big. Okay, guys, we're gonna separate. We're gonna do some stuff to kind of win this thing. Garnet leading the off color. That's a good idea.
You know what? It kind of gives me a Samurai Jack season 5 vibe almost.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
And I love this whole Garnet had like this great line where she's speaking of you guys represent love and freedom. That's a theme that's universal. It's nice. Then I guess the episode really ends with Steven asking about the pink diamond vision she had in in Jungle Moon. And what kind of Garnet spins it as, well, Steven, you used to have great empathy, and it's kind of something that kind of offsets you from everyone else. And that's not something to fear. That's something to celebrate. That you have empathy. That you could have this really connective, beautiful thing going on with these diamonds there.
Which I thought was a nice message.
Yeah, I think what she's also kind of saying with that is that's something that could also kind of work to our advantage in dealing with the diamonds. Maybe finding, again, she doesn't say in so many words, I'm inferring a lot of this. I'm inferring that maybe so it's like, hey, we could find like a different, like non-shattery solution with the diamonds this time around with that. And, okay, and last bit we have is that they're heading to the Yellow Diamond's asteroid mine for parts so they can get the ship working so they can get back to Earth.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah.
And we get a really awesome rallying cry from Lars, too.
Yeah.
Lars is, you got to admit, he's really turned it around.
He has. Space Pirate Lars.
Okay, folks, here's how this is going to go down. We are aware that most of the episodes have leaked online, but we're going to honor Cartoon Network's airing schedule because, Dragon, why are we going to honor I don't know. I don't know why we're honoring Cartoon Network's airing schedule. Who knows at this point? It's more for our own personal convenience, folks, that we're going to be doing these one a week. So stay tuned. On Mondays, we're going to be doing it. And the next episode is the big show. And also, Dragon, importantly, just to kind of get this episode title in there, Your Mother and Mine. Do you know what that's a reference to, Dragon?
What's it a reference to, Tiki?
It's a reference to an obscure song from Peter Pan. No, not What Makes the Red Man Red. Your Mother and Mine is a song that Wendy sings the Lost Boys.
Oh my God, yes! Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Wow, that's yeah, they are kind of lost gems, and she's kind of telling them a story. Okay, that's neat. Clever, I like that.
Mind equals blown.
They are technically pirates, you know. It's tying into the whole, vaguely the Peter Pan of it all.
All right, any final thoughts, Dragon?
Final thoughts is a good episode to come back to, and I'm hoping they keep up the momentum with this. I'm hoping we don't have that ghostly, that ghastly and ghostly Stephen Bomb from the past. That we don't duplicate that. But fingers crossed. I get kind of a good feeling about this.
Would you say you've got a really good feeling about this?
Yeah, Tiki, I've got a really good feeling about this.
All right. All right. Okay, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. Until next time, we are the Crystal Gems. We always save the day, and if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in Tiki.
Dragon.
And
Steven!
and also Cotton Candy Garnet.